Welcome to Live from the Heart podcast. My name is Anne-Claire Méret. I help beautiful beings feeling empowered to create their lives. I coach, teach, create programs, write books, among other things, and I love it. It took me years of healing and coaching, but I finally found the way back to my heart. Today I thrive and help people thrive too. Everything is happening faster and faster. I feel we are being supported in so many ways. I know we can thrive on a collective level. If you want to create from your heart, you're in the right place. Welcome for another episode with a special guest, Kristen Wonch. Welcome, Kristen.
Hi, Anne-Claire. So good to be here.
I'm very happy you said yes to this episode together. You and I, we have been part of a mastermind together with our coach. And I had right away, I think it was like, in French we say coup de foudre, which is right away falling in love with what you do and who you are. And right away I wanted to be part of the call that you suggested. And then I kept seeing you and we kind of met together without the group. And I was so happy that I found you because I was very much looking for someone with such an uplifting spirit to share together how our business are doing. And you've been very helpful to me to keep my spirit up and to just be more mindful with my finances and own it. So you gave me a lot of courage. And for that, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. You're going to make me cry.
Not yet. Can you please introduce yourself for the people who don't know you yet?
Yeah. Oh, it's been so beautiful just getting to know you on this journey, Anne-Claire, and so beautiful to be here with your audience and to just really connect. So I'm a wealth coach. I teach women how to be powerful with money, how to earn more without hustling, how to really feel powerful holding their money, and saving it and growing it through investing. And at the core of all of my work is really deep mindset work. So unpacking and understanding and rewiring limiting beliefs, all of those sticky things that are in your way, all those things that are really driving your decision making, and really uncovering how to be powerful, not just with money, but in your life. So it's been really the journey of my own personal growth, my own dark nights of the soul, my own journey around the mindset work and really uncovering what it is taken to create a life with intention, to create a powerful life, to create a life where you are the owner and you are at the core of creating everything you want. And that's the work that I get to share now with women.
So much needed. I love what you said, because you said that this is deep work, deep mindset work. And quite often people think that money is the problem, but actually money is a symptom of something which is deeper.
Totally. Like years ago where I wouldn't say, I don't know if this is where I started, but one point in my journey was, I was working in corporate. I was making great money. I was making over six figures, like well over six figures, and still $100,000 in debt. I was basically all the money I was making was just going straight out the door. I was living a life that was deeply unfulfilling. And so, it's really easy to think that making more money will solve your money problems, but it's not. That wasn't where my problems or my challenges were coming from. It was a function of, all of the beliefs that I was operating from and all the things that were unresolved, all the places of resistance in my life that I was up against. And so it was really, when I started, it wasn't just about how do I manage my money better, because I knew how to do that. It was really uncovering, like, what were all those things that the places I was lying to myself, or the things, the places in my life where I was like still being a victim, or the things I was not taking responsibility for, ownership for, and really leaning into that deep work of unpacking and rewiring my own beliefs and working with coaches. Like my very first coach really changed my entire life. And that's when things really began to shift. And it's been since then that there are just more and more layers and the journey becomes deeper. And I was, able to pay off my $100,000 in student loan debt really get my finances and my money in a place where I have a completely different relationship to money. And not, that is now the work that I share with women. And so, yeah, it's not just about understanding the numbers. It often comes from such a deeper place.
That speaks to me very much. And do you think that the women that walk that path, they usually end up being entrepreneur at the end? Like, okay, I don't want to give my power to a boss. I want to be the boss. It seems that there is a lot of us which escaped the
Yeah, for
9 to 5.
sure. I think many people do, but I also don't think you need to. I think not. I think most people are not meant to be entrepreneurs, and I don't think it. Well, I know it's not a requirement to build wealth. I work with lots of clients that don't run their own business, and a lot of the same principles apply around how do you earn more. What are the things that you need to do to really amplify your income and reach that next level? And then what do you do with that money once you have it? So I think that entrepreneurship, obviously I love it. It's, something that has completely changed my life and has been the vehicle through which I can make such, we both make such a massive impact beyond ourselves. And there are many challenges that come along with it. There is a deep journey of personal growth. It's it challenges you in ways that nothing, very few things do. And it requires a deep level of commitment to the journey. And so I think, and there's a lot of, you have to be able to hold a lot of uncertainty because you are literally creating a reality that doesn't yet exist, right? There's certain principles around business that are universal, but everything that we do around business strategy and customers and managing money for the business, I think often that is, you are really making things up as you go. You have to figure out what works. And often that is through a process of finding all the things that don't work. And you have to be really comfortable with failure. You have to be really comfortable in that process. And so I don't think that everyone is prepared to hold the amount of uncertainty that's required. And I don't think everyone needs to. So you can be wealthy whether you decide to be an entrepreneur or not. But if you do, it is a magical, magical place.
I love that because just before we started, you said anything is possible. You said you wanted everybody to realize that anything is possible. So this is also whatever their situations are. They don't need to completely change their job or completely change where they live or how they live. They need to change something within and then make the most of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think, and that's one thing when it comes to the decision to, if you are looking at leaving your corporate career, if you're looking at making any big decision, whether it's moving countries, which I've done a couple of times, or changing industries, or even just changing roles, I think it can be really easy to operate inside of the box that you've always existed in, right? The box that says everyone in my industry only makes X amount, or I've always lived in this place before, so those are the only places I could live. Or I've never started a business before. No one in my family has ever earned more than 6 figures. So why could I? Or no one in my family has ever started a business before. So how could it be possible for me? And I think that's, when you ask me that question, one of my core beliefs and, the message that one of the deepest things I really ground into is anything is possible. And we're always, when we're making decisions from what we think is realistic or what we think is possible, we're always making decisions from the past, right? Everything you believe to be realistic about your life, is it realistic that you would double your salary? Well, that's based on the current salary that you have, which is what you created in the past. Or is it possible that you could move across the world like you have to a completely new country and start a whole new life? Well, when you first began that journey, that transition, you couldn't see where it ended up. You couldn't see where you were going to live or how it would feel or what it would look like. And I think in order to create a reality that doesn't exist, in order to create a new possibility, you'd have to be willing to lean into the unknown, because it's in the unknown and in that space of the uncertainty, the unknown, where all of the possibility exists, right? And you can literally create anything. Like if COVID has taught me anything, it is that anything is possible. If the entire world can shut down because of a pandemic, and the things that you have seen over the last few years happen, anything is possible, right? And a lot of people feel like much of that has, had a negative impact on them, but it also, like, think of the things that we've seen that we never could have imagined, like the number of companies that now work completely remotely that never would have done that before, that move their entire teams online. Like, so much has happened that we would have never thought available or a reality, and yet it's here.
It is. It is. And also it is, and it has created with a ripple effect of events that has happened. This, this second phase of the crisis, and I can only speak for the people that I know most, which is people in Europe with their business. They are struggling right now. I know a lot of wellness entrepreneurs who are very scared because all around them, people say, oh, it's difficult to make a living now. 2020 was great because everyone went online. And now 2022, there is those new crises, energy crisis, the war, so many new stuff. Mm-hmm. Some are probably more or less made up. And we can see that there is this fear, which is, taking more and more space. And how is it possible to create wealth in the middle of something that doesn't seem to be abundant?
Yeah. I mean, just to acknowledge that that is the reality for many people, right? Where things appear to be very, very negative, very gloom and doom, right? And I think that it's not that that reality doesn't exist, but I think it's really important to recognize that, like, we forget how much power we have to shape what we believe our reality to be. So we look outside of ourselves often and we think that what we're seeing are the facts. And this is, to be honest with you, and Claire, I don't watch the news at all. And if you can build wealth and not have your eye on the news every day, that's, very much available to you. And one of the reasons that I don't watch the news all the time is because it is negative. The news is meant to, and we could go down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, but at a minimum, the news and media outlets are incentivized to sell fear, right? Because that's what people, biologically are wired to pay attention to fearful things, to pay attention to things that, draw you in a negative way. And so I think it's really important to be a very conscious curator of what you consume and where you take information from, right? Because it doesn't have to be a media outlet. It doesn't have to be the internet or social media or a media outlet for you to be picking up on fear or be picking up on negative beliefs or be picking up on negativity that actually might not be your own. So I think it's really important to check in and to really become aware of the fact that you can create any story you want about what is going on, right? And so I'll give you a couple of examples. So, a lot of people are talking about a recession, that we're about to head into recession, or we might already be. There's different classifications for recession, but 80% of the Fortune 500 companies were built in a recession. So you can look at a recession as it's a really, really hard time to build a business, or it means a lot of negativity, or it means that things are going to be going bad. Or you could look at it as it's actually a massive opportunity for innovation and growth. And it's a time where many, many companies and people thrive. And so that's an alternative version of that story that is available, right? It doesn't have to be, or, for me, what happened to me during COVID was I ended up closing a business that was very much out of alignment for me and had been for many years. Although there were many decisions I was making around running my old business, which was my co-working space. And I loved it in so many ways, but I really wasn't acknowledging how out of alignment it was. What I really loved to do is help people grow. And ultimately what I was paid to do was maintain a building and make sure that people had offices and make sure that the lights were on. And so in a very challenging series of events, obviously, what that has created for me was the life that I live now, like living my dream life on the beaches of Costa Rica, building a business that I can't even begin to describe how aligned it is, doing work that lights up my soul, changing the world for women, working with clients that I love to serve. Like, I get on client calls and I'm more energized than when I started. And this life, living my dream life here in Costa Rica with a community of people that really inspire and energize me, being able to surf every day, doing work that really is so deeply aligned, that wasn't available to me before, when I was running my co-working space. And so the challenges around closing that business and moving on, or, selling it, which I did, I could have had a story that was a terrible experience. I could have had a story that meant I had failed. I could have had all kinds of stories about what that meant. But my version of what occurred was that it created my dream life. It opened up the space. And so I think it's really important to just be aware of your power and your ability to create the story of your life, to interpret and perceive the things that are occurring around you in the way that is most powerful and most supportive for you, and really is most aligned to the results that you want to get. So the stories that you're telling yourself about what's going on around you, or what the media is telling you, the stories that you're telling yourself, ask yourself, are they serving you?
Yeah. Yeah. Your thoughts don't live rent free, I think you say in English, which is really, you pay for it at some point. And this is the biggest piece, the most important thing. The thing is that you said earlier, we need to be able to lean into the unknown in order to take a jump into what has not been done yet for us. And what is scary is to not knowing what's coming. And so we tend to grasp to what we have because this is what we know and it feels safe. How can we let go of what we have in order to meet what we don't yet have?
That is a beautiful question. I think it is truly the practice and the art and the muscle of being willing to surrender, and knowing that, there's certain things that we think we have figured out, or there's certain things that we think we want the reality to unfold in a certain way. And we think that reality is going to get us what we want, right? Or that reality is what's going to feel good. And it really is the process of surrendering to the reality of what is, and back to my example with the co-working space. Had I clung, when we went into lockdown, I had choices to make, and I could have continued to build that business, and I would have been able to build it back up. I would have made the decisions that needed to be made to continue running the business, right? To continue building it. I had been building it for 3 years, and there were a lot of things that I loved about our community and our clients and all of those things. And that was the reality that was certain for me, right? And so I think sometimes you really have to acknowledge the fact that the way that you think things are supposed to go isn't necessarily what's in highest alignment for you. And so really just trusting. And it's not just something I can say and you can do. It's a muscle. It's a muscle that you get to build. And I think we all are doing this work. It's not something I have nailed, right? There are moments where things come up for me where I resist and I think that things need to go a certain way. And it is really just building that self-trust within yourself of, whatever unfolds and whatever occurs, I've got this. And I know I've got my own back. And I know that, and I think this is the power of mindset work, is being able to navigate anything with confidence and with ease is what mindset work really gives you, right? It's that things don't need to be going a certain way in order for you to feel good. It is, the ability to navigate anything and know that you are safe and that it's all working out for your highest good, and that you are a very skilled sailor. You don't need, if you think about an ocean, right? Like, you don't need calm, sunshiny days to navigate any water. If you are really deeply skilled as a sailor, you've got anything, right? And I think that's the power of being able to do this work and to become really skilled at it is being able to handle anything with a bit of flow.
Yes, we are. And I find it easier when I have someone like you by my side. But it's
Yeah.
not easy with everyone that we have around us, because the people that are part of our family or friend circles, which have been there for a long time, it's not always easy to talk with them in that way. How do you recommend your clients when they change, when their mindset is evolving, when they're much taking action in their lives, making decisions super important for them? How do you advise them to navigate with their environment?
That is such a great question. And it is the reason I value friendships like yours so deeply, right? Because you you have other, if you surround yourself with the right support and with whether it's friends or, masterminds or coaching programs like yours that you're a part of, you you have the support you need, because when you find yourself falling into the place of, worry or self-doubt, or even just like kind of caught behind one of your own limiting beliefs, you have other people that can give you new perspectives, that can shed light on things. And I think it's really important. And that's, to be honest with you, it's one of the main reasons that I have chosen to live in Nosara, where I live, because I'm surrounded by people that really get me, that are doing the work, that are also like on the journey, right? And we value similar things. We speak the same language. We support each other in a way that is deeper than surface level, and that hasn't always been something that I was like, that wasn't really something I was taught. Like, personal development wasn't something, a table topic of conversation in my house, right? And it's really funny. I'll give you an example. I went home, my parents, bless them, I love them to death, but they genuinely think I'm a total weirdo sometimes. And so like, all of the things that I do and the things that I explore, and that how much I love personal development and have conversations like this, like, there's a big part of me they just don't understand. And so for a long time, I think I really deeply wanted to be understood by them. And I've realized over the years, especially the last few years, that I don't require them to understand me or even support me in those ways, right? Like, they'll never understand the things that I experience with business, or the challenges that I might be up against, or the things that I need to navigate. And so I don't go to them for those things. And so I was telling my stepdad when I was home in the summer, that I did some hypnotherapy with a friend of mine. And I was just sharing some of the things that came up, because it was like, she took me back to experiences from childhood that were just strange and weird. And he says to me, he's like, "You do a lot of weird shit, don't you?" And I was like, yeah, I guess I do. Because for them, it's like completely foreign to just go that deep on your own, personal development or your own journey. But for me, I love it. And it's like one of the things I love most about my life, and the friendships that I have. And so that I think it's really important to surround yourself. You don't have to get rid of all the people that, don't share your values, or if your family members don't quite understand where you're at, you don't have to just cut them out. And I think it's really important to start attracting people into your life that do provide that, the things that you can get excited by, like women like you and Claire, that we can get together and we just jam on such exciting ideas, and we support one another, and also we get so excited and inspired by one another, right? And so having more of those people as you go deeper on your own journey, having more of those people that really give you that, that community, and the I guess for me, it's really about like us leveling up together, right? It's like, for me, it's like we're all like next level, next level, next level. And it's like, we're all just, it's this dance that we do where we're like, and really, I think especially, I don't know how, I'm sure a lot of your audience are women, but having women in your life, I can't express this enough, having women in your life that are genuinely happy for you. Like, as you share the success that you have, the worst thing that you want to feel is shame around your success. And so whether you're hitting like a big financial milestone or you just like something amazing is landing in your life, if you're sharing that with your friends and you can feel that they're jealous or resentful, like those aren't the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with. Like getting people in your life that are just like super, super genuinely happy for you. And the power of that is so important because you'll continue to keep yourself small if you don't feel safe to expand. And if you desire expansion, you need to create an environment that feels safe to do that and exciting to do that in.
And you said you need to create it. It's not something that just falls miraculously, someone just knocking on your door. It's a choice. You go get out there and you go find the people.
Totally. Well, one of the reasons we connected was we're a part of a mastermind that there's probably 70 other people in. And I was feeling like I wasn't actually deeply connecting with anybody. And so I posted in the group that I wanted to set up, a monthly call for us all to connect. And there were months, like we would go by months and it was often just you and I on the call. And so like the amount of courage that it took me to post in that group and to feel a little bit rejected, or not rejected, but you know what I mean? It was like, it wasn't like everyone was like, oh yeah, great idea. Like high five you. It was like literally very few people were showing up. And it was like, I desire to connect. And this is like, this friendship was built out of me being willing to do that. And it's like, yeah, you've got to put yourself out there. You've got to be, it's the most magical things will come from that.
Thank you for doing it.
Yeah.
and this is a great reminder that on internet, a lot of us are consumers and we're just buying courses and we're just doing half of them or a quarter of them, just a little bit of, a bit of the exercises. We're not having necessarily accountability partners. And then we're like complaining that it's not moving forward.
Yeah. You've got to be unstoppable in creating what you want, and that takes, it's not always clear how to make it happen.
Yeah. You choose to work with women. You could have offered your classes for everyone. The mindset, also men need to work about their mindset related to money, and investments could also be masculine. Why did you choose specifically to work with women?
Yeah, that is a great question. It's funny, all of my core program is called Women's Money Mastery. All of my content online speaks to women. And I still get men reaching out to me and asking me if I help men. So you're right. It's not that men don't have their own money blocks. It's not that no men struggle with money. To be honest with you, it's just, I'm super passionate about empowering women. Like I'm so excited by, when you watch a woman break through a block that she's been hiding behind or stuck behind for years, it's just so powerful. When you watch a woman like transform in front of you, it really fulfills me. And I can't explain why I get more of that from women than I do from men, but I can say too that women have their own unique challenges. Women have their own gifts, their own challenges, their own blocks, their own strengths, their own ways of thinking. Like the reality is, because of the way the body is built, like testosterone and estrogen makes men and women different. Men have a higher tendency towards sensation seeking and risk-taking behaviors. That's just biological. Like that's just a fact. It's not everyone. I mean, there's a spectrum, but it is, men are wired differently. And so they show up differently. And I love being able to speak specifically in my containers, in my groups, to women and the things that women experience when it comes to money and the shame that women feel around not having it figured out. And, working with so many smart women that feel so confident, so powerful in so many areas of their lives, and just feel like they don't have numbers figured out. Like we as women aren't socialized, aren't encouraged around money in the same way men are. And I think it's really important for us to have a safe space to share about those unique things that come up for women and how vulnerable women can be. Not every single call I have, but often, tears will come up and like real emotions. And it's because a lot of the things around money and the things that we experience around money run really deep. And so it's being able to having a safe space to be able to clear those and to be honest and open about what is really there, I think is just so powerful when women do that together, and just really having a safe space in a community where like you have each other's backs, like you're high-fiving each other on all of the wins. You're sharing and celebrating like for every time you hit a new milestone around money, or you land a client at a level you've never sold a client at before, or you double your prices and you didn't think you could do it at first, and then you do, and everything feels in flow. Like having a space where you can also celebrate and support and share that with other women is just amazing. And it's something that really, really lights me up and is so impactful for me.
That is very exciting for me because I can feel it in all my cells. I'm like, you win, I win, we win.
Yeah.
It's like we're in the same team.
Yeah, fully. Like and when women are wealthy, the ripple effect is massive. When women are wealthy, everyone rises, everyone benefits. Like your communities, your family, like more women get to be wealthy. Like that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. There is a lot of online programs directed to women and wealth these days, and it feels that there was like a wave. Someone started it. There's a big famous one, the most famous, I think, and then there is a lot of women who are doing it too. And to me, what you're doing is different because I truly feel that you're operating from the heart, which is not the case for all the courses about wealth out there. What do you observe in the coaching industry regarding coaching wealth? Do you feel, how do you make a difference? How would someone who would look for a course would be using his discernment to choose the right coach and the right program?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of when it comes to choosing the coach or the program that's right for you, really getting clear on what it is that you need most. And so whether it's a group program or one-on-one or the specific skills that you want to build, that I think is a really important piece of it. And so I can't speak to, all of the other programs, but what I can say about the work that I do is what I see a lot in the industry is sort of this separation. There's this very masculine paradigm of, finance and, how to invest and how to become a day trader and, managing money taught by gray-haired white men in stuffy suits that sound like your accountant. And it's really inaccessible, the kind of spaces where you're overwhelmed by jargon and you don't feel safe to ask questions. And it's all about how to really manage money. And then what I see is a lot of women in the very feminine, energetic space. And so manifestation, there's a lot of programs around manifestation, and that is really powerful. Like you and I both believe deeply in the power of energetic work. And I think that both of those kind of miss the mark on a few things. And for me, it's really about the integration of those two pieces. How do you get an energetic alignment? And how do you also understand how to manage your money when it comes in? Because that's, I think, the piece that a lot of women are missing. It's like they do a lot of work in the manifestation space. They're doing a lot of work in the energetics, and they don't actually know what to do with the money when it comes in. And that masculine piece around creating the structure of like just understanding the flow of your money, it gets to be really simple. It gets to be really easy. It doesn't have to be full of jargon. That's what I break down in the work that I do. But you do have to understand what to do with the money when it comes in so that it's growing for you. And so I break everything down super simply in a really easy way. It's super fun. And the core of everything I do is that mindset work, right? And so you can understand what to do with your money. You can understand how to build a business, but what's really always in the way are the limiting beliefs, are the, whatever is standing in the way of you making powerful decisions. If you wanted to, whether it's you negotiating a pay raise or doubling your rates or, just understanding how to get started with investing, or maybe, feeling like it's not accessible. All of the things that are in your way are often the limiting beliefs that you're not aware of. And so that's the power of the work that I do is really going deep on understanding and unpacking your limiting beliefs, creating those with intention, and then, understanding how to use your money powerfully, and really just changing your relationship to money so that you feel powerful with it. You are powerful with it, and you're super confident with everything that you do. So you are, a powerful creator of not just money, but everything in your life.
What has your shift regarding money, the way now that you handle money, did it have a ripple effect on other areas of your life?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that's the power of mindset work, is that it translates. I think for me and for most of the clients that I work with, money is such a source of security, right? And so when you don't feel confident with money, when you don't feel confident in your ability to earn, when you don't feel confident or safe that your money is going to stick around, you don't know what to do with it when it comes in, when you don't have that figured out, everything can feel kind of unstable. And when you do have that sorted, you feel like a completely different woman. Like, you feel powerful because you have this, the foundation of what a lot of people look to for safety and security and stability and growth. You know that you have that mastered. And so for me, getting that piece sorted and doing the mindset work that has, led to that has rippled into so many areas of my life, whether it's relationships or, just your self-worth, your relationship to yourself, your relationship to your family. Like, all of it is really impacted by the belief work.
Yeah. Wow. This is beautiful. And I love it that you're doing it for yourself and that you're helping others do it too. So thank you for being a light in the world and in my life.
Thank you, my love.
Do you want to add something?
Yeah, I think just what I had said before we jumped on the call is, like, truly anything is possible. Whatever it is that you desire, whatever you want, whatever reality you think isn't accessible because it's not right here, you don't have to see the how to create it. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You don't have to see what it looks like 2 years from now. You just have to be willing to lean in and take the first step, and you truly can create anything.
Yes, you can. Thank you.
Yeah.
How do you work with people? Do you offer one-on-ones? Do you have group coaching? Do you have programs? Can you share with us?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you. So I have only one program. It's called Women's Money Mastery. I don't do any one-on-one work. I think the power of the group container and the power of the group when it comes to women and money shame and really going on the journey together is just so powerful. And often what happens with clients or with women that I talk to is they're like, I don't even know what I don't know. I don't know what questions to ask. And so hearing the things that come up for other people is really powerful. And so my Women's Money Mastery program is the only program that I run. It is 4 months, and it is an end-to-end roadmap for creating wealth. It's everything you need to really amplify your income, to earn more without hustling, like to do it from a place of ease and flow and alignment and power, to get really confident holding your money, saving it, what to do with it when it comes in, and really feel really powerful when it comes to having money come in and having that money grow, and then building wealth through investments in a very, very simple way, everything from the ground up. Like I said before, I don't watch the news. This doesn't require you to watch the markets every day or become a day trader or take on any, really high risk things. This is really something that you put on autopilot so that your money is working for you. It's like giving your money a job. and we do it in a really easy way. And then, rewiring all of your beliefs along the way. And that is the power of the coaching, the coaching that we do inside of the program. It's like anything that comes up for you, any kind of block, any kind of challenge, any kind of thing that you're questioning or stuck on, whether it's, strategy for how do I negotiate, or how do I start speaking to this type of client, or how do I really start earning at a level that I've never done before, whether it's that kind of strategy or something more energetic, stepping into the energy of the woman that has created that level, that has already created that vision. So we do all of that work inside a really super, super fun and simple roadmap. And so it gives you everything you need in one place. And it just takes you on a journey to really up level. And it's one of my favorite, oh my goodness, I just got another message this morning, but my favorite thing is hearing from clients that have been through the program, even earlier this year or last year, and like having them hit milestones that they never thought were possible. A woman reached out to me just today saying she's just bought her first house, like her first dream home. And it was like something that she was saving up for, along the way. And it was like laying the foundation and planting the seeds and doing the things that like give you an exponential return in the long run. And it's like, it is really what enables you to create anything you want. And it is my favorite thing to do. So for anyone that is excited to explore and level up their relationship to money, level up their life, level up their bank account, definitely get in touch. It's such a vibe.
And you have people from all over the world joining your groups.
Yes. Yeah. So wherever you are, definitely everything is available.
This is awesome, because as a French person, I know that there's a lot of French women who don't feel empowered in this field. I know that it's not only because of where we live, but this is also the mindset of the country. And this is great, I feel, to be part of other nationalities, people coming from anywhere, living anywhere. And it brings so much, inspiration.
Yeah. Well, and I think one really important thing to acknowledge is that we're not taught this. Like, I don't know about France. Well, I think I do know a little bit about France. But like my clients are from France, North America, the States, like all over. And we're often not taught this in high school or like in school at all. And so feeling like becoming empowered with your money is something that many people, many women do later in life. And so wherever you're at, whatever you think, you should have learned by now, it's all easy to learn. It's all possible and it's all available. There's no too late. There's no things that you had to learn when you were younger. It's like you get to start the journey now, and it gets to be super, super fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much for everything.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and Claire. It's been such a gift to share this with you, and such a beautiful journey to be on with you.
Thank you for your presence. If you've enjoyed this episode, share it, like it, save it. You can follow me and connect with me via social media and my website, simply with my name, Anne-Claire Méret. See you soon with more content from the heart.